Hey guys, it's Dave from Ghetto Van Adventures, and it's my mom's 10th anniversary of her passing away, and I'm going to tell you a little about my family. Okay guys, so we're taking a drive in the cemetery. I'm going to slide by and see my family. A long time ago my brother passed away of cancer. And it's funny, I was younger then. Didn't seem to affect me as much as it does now. Like, it bothers me more now, I think, than it did when I was younger. Anyway, and you know, he was a great guy. He was a lawyer. He was smart. He was always helpful. He was always friendly to people. And he was a much better man than I ever was. And I always try to aspire to be as good as him. And I know that sounds strange, but it's true. He was a great guy. And you know what? When I moved into Ontario, he looked out for me. We used to have weekly meals. We go out, see a movie together. You know, it was always a good time with him. He always cared for me. He always cared about family. He was a great man. About 10 years after my brother's death, my dad passed away. Now, my dad was really, really old school. I got in trouble for my dad, but I'll tell you one thing. When I got in trouble for him, it wasn't because I didn't deserve it. He was a strong man. He was a hardworking man. And he retired when I was younger. That's the age difference. Like, he took an earlier retirement, but he retired when I was younger. So he had a lot of time to spend with me. And you know what? I wouldn't trade my parents away for anybody, because they took the time to always give me the best they could. You know, I played a lot of hockey when I was younger. I could be 1,000 miles away, and I could be at any arena. You know, I travel with the team. I could be at any arena, and I could look up at the blue line on our end, and there would be my dad standing there, and always encouraging anything I wanted to do. And you know, I remember when I was 6 years old. I should clean that windshield for you. When I was 6 years old, I remember being in the engine compartment of this old car my dad had, and I was doing a tune-up. He would always say, you know, I can tell you how to do it, or I can show you. So he showed me how to do a tune-up. I think my mom used to yell at him, saying, you know, he's a spitting image of you. He's always tinkering with stuff. And it was actually so true. My dad was a great guy. He was very strong. He was always helpful. He was always caring of others, actually almost to a fault sometimes. And when he passed away, it was quite a kick. And it was quite a kick to my mom too, because, you know, my sister wasn't around. So it was just me and my mom. And you know, my mom went through, she had a little thing with the tendon in the hand and everything else, and she had surgery on that. My mom was quite elderly too. And then she had bladder cancer. They say it was from years of smoking, but anyway, she had bladder cancer. She had to have her bladder removed, and surprisingly, she was tough. She came through it, and in a week, she was up and about, and like moving, not like running, but she was moving under her own steam. And I was kind of surprised, but you know, I looked after her through that, and she suffered a stroke, and then later on, like years later, she suffered a heart attack, and everybody thought she was going to recover. I had her home out of the hospital, and then she suffered a massive heart attack, and that's what got her. So, you know, it's the funny thing though, because like I have my nephew and his wife and his daughter, and they're a great family, great support. But you know, you don't really realize, like, you know, they say you don't know what you got till it's gone, and it's true. You don't realize it. And I'm gonna turn back this way because, you know, it's kind of this guy's walking right through in front of me. It's kind of taking advantage in a way of the situation, because you know what, while it's there, you're just enjoying it. And the funny thing about my parents was, you know, after I got a little older, it wasn't that they were my parents, it was kind of like they were my really like best friends also. And then when my dad passed away, like I looked after my mom, and you know, every day I saw my mom. Every day we would go out and do something, and like I would take her out, we'd get a coffee just so she'd get out of the place. And she always wanted to have her own place. She always wanted that independence. But you know, I made sure I was there for her and looked after her, and I wouldn't trade that time for anything. I know that may sound strange, but I wouldn't trade that time. You know, some people look at it as an inconvenience. I don't. I look at it as I was lucky to have that time with my dad, with my mom, and the time I have with my brother. And now I really enjoy time with my nephew and his wife and their daughter. Like, their daughter's a little princess. Anyway, I'm gonna just pull in here because the headstone is just over to the side. I'm just gonna walk in. I'll switch this around. Okay, well, that's about the end of the video. I'm gonna go up to the headstone. Usually what I do is I try and come down around Christmas and everybody's anniversary and birthdays and that when I can. I get down quite a bit just to say hi, give them an update, and I just tell them what's going on. And it feels good to me. It feels like I still have some connection with them. But, you know, if everybody's not going to be in your life forever, okay, and I've lost a lot of friends too, and it can be a split-second thing where they get in a car accident, or they just don't wake up one day, or something happens, and things can change in an instant. So, you know, you have close friends, family, give them a call. Say, hey, what's going on? I miss you. And because, you know, one day they're not going to be there. And then you're going to be like me. You're going to be sitting around years later going, geez, I wish they were here. Because, you know what? Honestly, I'll have something really good happen to me, and I'll still want to call my parents. Especially my mom. I always call my mom. Hey, Mom, guess what? This happened. That was good. You know, and when something bad happened, I need advice, I talk to my dad. And, you know, my brother was always there with advice too. And I miss them a lot. I miss that connection. And some of the friends that I've lost, I really miss those guys too, because those were guys we used to hang out with, and we had laughs and everything else, and they're gone. So, you know, take advantage of the time you have with each other. Take advantage of that closeness. Call a friend, call a family member. Just say, hey, what's going on? And because someday they're not going to be there, or you're not going to be there. Anyway, guys, if you like the channel, give it a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. You guys take care. Make a phone call. Go stop in and see somebody. Be safe on the road.